It's a Thursday, November 13th, 2025, about 5 o'clock. Resetting the accumulated info. Zeroed it out right there. And here's Critter. Critter likes to hang on mirrors. He likes to live, laugh, smell good. He's a mirror critter. There you go, Critter. He doesn't really talk a whole lot. He just likes to stare. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. We'll get this out of the way. Go ahead and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel, I'll put my PayPal right here. And we would really appreciate it if you'd want to support us. Also hit the notifying bell so you know when the next video is up. I actually did post chapter 84 and 85 of Rib, or parentheses, close parentheses. Well, actually it's Rib, parentheses, or Dog Night Out, close parentheses, dash Shepherds of Alaska. I did that a few days ago. So I finally just got fed up. I just put needs proofread, novel I'm working on, Rib, parentheses, or Dog Night Out, close parentheses, dash Shepherds of Alaska. And I just went ahead and posted those two chapters, which is chapter 84 and 85, on my Facebook, which is Cole Spivey. You should be able to find it, and you could scroll through the wall. You might have to do a lot of scrolling, and you should be able to find the whole book there. I do have a little snippet of it, a few chapters of it on my fictionpress.com, which is under Ash Cole. And some people responded to it and stuff, but it's not the whole book, of course. Most of that, or all of it, pretty much has been posted on my Facebook page. I don't know if anybody's done that. I'm sure they have. It's a way to kind of organize it, collect it. I can store it under categories, under saved, I put it under novel stories. And it's the first time I'm doing this because it's kind of immediate, and it keeps it organized, and I can bounce it off Facebook back on the phone and things like that. All right. And also, the entire book doesn't fit in one post on fictionpress.com, only sections of it. And I've thought about doing what I've done with the other books and just doing sections of it under the Ash Cole site. Other than that, I think I did watch a new movie. I know I watched one movie I'm not going to advertise that I watched on Criterion Channel. I just don't want to advertise. I watched it. I was like, this is too much. There's famous actors in it. I don't want to critique this. I'll just give you a hint. I don't even want to give you a hint. But I did watch Grizzly Man, which is Herzog's film, and I've seen it many times, and it is entertaining still, even though I've watched it over the years. It's kind of about almost like this guy, in a way, he knows Timothy Treadwell, which I thought about including this in the book, because part of my book is about Alaska, even though I've never been there. I've been to Maine, but I haven't been to Alaska. But there's all these characters that go out to Alaska. Jack London was a character. He was a writer that lived in Alaska and survived for quite a bit of time. But Timothy Treadwell was a character. He was he was kind of a martyr for what he believed in. He loved these bears, these grizzly bears. The documentary is called The Grizzly Man, Werner Herzog. And he's one of our greatest filmmakers. And this was a really good documentary that's about this man. He assumes that he's going to get eaten by these grizzly bears, but he treats them like people. And he's kind of, there's different diagnosis on him, different insanity things. If he's manic depressive or whatever it is, or if he's just a very expressive person. I don't really like to diagnose people. I don't know if they do it in the documentary. They probably don't, but I think I've heard it before. They might. I don't know. They might hint that he was kind of crazy. And he was living for decades in the bear sanctuary in Alaska and going in and out of this thing called the bear maze, which he ended up being killed and eaten by a bear. And it's just, everybody knows about this documentary. But I think I might include him on the wall in this one fictional restaurant I made up called the the Alaskan moose, which I started writing about. Because Jed Wilson is who I'm writing about now. I was writing about Daniel. Daniel was really hard to write about. He's the one shady character, the NYPD, ex-NYPD guy, supposed serial killer that's posing as a Fort Worth cop and all that kind of stuff. Part of this crazy novel I'm writing. Well, I'm switching over to Jed Wilson, who is like the lead sniper of this militia team that's out in Alaska, who was once kind of an up-and-coming, not really a rock star, but he had a tribute band to Nirvana called Mr. Candlesticks. I don't know where any of this comes, so don't ask. And he's also part of a band called the Litter Beatbox Boys. There's this crazy scene that was in Seattle. It's still kind of there a little bit. It's more commercial now, but he was there during like maybe the late 90s, and then he made his way up to Alaska and then meets this dwarf guy that's starting a militia and joins team with him. He's not really quiet about it either, because it's legal to join a militia. It just has to be regulated. He, in this part of the chapter, which is going to be chapter 86, he's on his way to see his dad again. And he's driving his van basically through Canada, and he arrives, I think before he gets to Canada, he arrives at a place called the Alaskan Moose Bar and Grill, and he's talking to a guy. And that's where I'm at right now. And then it's going to go forward from there. Eventually he'll see Dad. It'll be Thanksgiving again. And he's kind of a loser. That's kind of why I like him. He's displaced. He's a van dweller. And he's finally found something where, because the dwarf is like an Elon Musk, very powerful guy that can, he's powerful enough to run this big militia and stuff. It's really not that big of a militia, but they kind of spy on the American government looking for corruption within the government, authority figures and stuff, and police forces and stuff like that. And they find one. They find Daniel, who's a killer, who's an officer, an ex-officer that's posing as one, and they end up finding him. And anyway, he's explained to this guy in the bar that he's already lost, but he keeps going on because he didn't make it as a rock star. Kind of, I don't know. That's where I'm at now. So we're at about 7 minutes. Okay. All right. And if you want to read it, it doesn't really start the story really until like chapter 28, because it started off very, it was supposed to be an apocalyptic film. And so it was just kind of hinting at it in the first 20 chapters. And then around chapter 28 or so, it starts. I think it concretes to the story that I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Oh, and one more thing. How am I going to incorporate Treadwell? I think it's going to be on the wall. Like there's going to be kind of like an article written about him on the wall. Like he's one of the legends of Alaska. And I think Jed's going to mention it when he sees it, or he'll go by it. Probably just like a little write-up on him. He may talk about him or something. Or they may mention him or something like that in passing. Because of the dangers of Alaska. There's like wild bears out there that can kill you and stuff. And also another character that's in it is Shep, Dwight East, who is actually a cop that's on trial, or he's supposed to be sentenced for one of the murders of Daniel, who's the NYPD cop that came down and posed as a cop. He blamed it on Shep by using the mask making machine. That's when he meets 613. It all kind of connects. And so he sets him up, and that's why Shep ends up in Alaska in a very dangerous place on the run. His brothers help him get there. It's kind of a little bit of an action adventure, a little bit, and there's kind of a fantasy aspect to it later on. Okay, Casa Manana's doing Rudolph. They're going to do that the day before Christmas Eve through November, through December 23rd, and then Wizard of Oz is starting January 23rd through February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. Casa Manana. All right, Taco Bell and Valentine's, 5:18, 3 minutes, 1.4 mile for the pickup. $1.50 Gulf oysters every Sunday. So after church, check out the Flying Fish. Or get some burgers, frog legs, crabs, oysters, shrimp, and grilled fish at the Flying Fish. All right, Taco Bell, 5:36, 6 minutes, 1.2 mile. Flower Child for the pickup, 546, 2 minutes, 0.3 mile for the pickup. Used to be a phone booth right there. Flower Child, 6:01 arrival, 7 minutes, 1.9 for the delivery. All right, 2 more. Flower Child again, and then Mellow Mushroom. First Flower Child, 6:14, 7 minutes, 1.8 mile for the pickup. Headed to Mellow Mushroom, 6:35, 2 miles. TCU. Right there is where they'd be, or back there is the theater department. It's where they're doing Circle Mirror Transformation, Annie Baker play. I think as of tonight is opening night. At TCU, founded in 1873. 152 years ago. Man, they must have turned the light off again. I think that light is that light right there. So it's like pitch black back here. It's behind Mellow Mushrooms, Blue Bonnet Circle. When that light makes a big difference. Flower Child first, 6:48, 8 minutes, 3.3 miles for the delivery. I don't know if my camera picked it up, but someone yelled, "Run, Forrest, run," way back there. Mallow Mushroom on its way, 7:01 arrival, 8 minutes, 3 miles for the delivery. Alrighty, Pizza Hut on Sycamore, 7:14, 5 minutes, 2.2 for the pickup. Alrighty, Pizza Hut on its way, 7:22, 2 minutes, 0.6 mile for the delivery. You can tell I'm close to the Crowley area. Taco Chihuahuas, 7:38 arrival, 4 minutes, 2 miles for the pickup. This known as Taco Chihuahuas. Like Chihuahua. Taco Chihuahuas. Chihuahuas. If I looked up Chihuahua, spelled almost the same. Just cut off soon. Let's get a little happy taco right now. Taco Chihuahuas. Taco Chihuahuas. Alright, Taco Chihuahuas on its way, 7:51 arrival, 5 minutes, 2.2 miles for delivery. All right, got one at the Tavern and then Panera Bread. First, the Tavern, 8:20 arrival, 8 minutes, 2.4 miles for the pickup. Panera Bread on our way, 8:32, 7 minutes, 3 miles. Something like particular. Tavern and Panera Bread on its way. 8:43 arrival, 3 minutes, 1 mile. For HG Supply is coming up. 8:55 arrival. 1 minute, 0.2 mile for the pick. This one was done 2015. It's called Water Memory. It's 1977. It's pretty cool. This whole hallway is full of photography from like the 50s, the 30s, 1908. So it says still life published 1908. So it's the 70s, it's 46, 49, 56, 49. It's a Carter's photography collection. HG Supplies on the way. 9:41 arrival, 18 minutes, 14 miles for the delivery. It says Walsh. 7-Eleven on our way, 10:08, 5 minutes, 2.1 miles for the pickup. All right, 7-Eleven on its way, 10:23 arrival, 9 minutes, 3.2 miles for the delivery. I might as well report it. If it'll allow such a thing.
Only the photographs on the mantelpiece.
All right, Taco Cabana on our way. 10:39 arrival, 5 minutes, 1.7 mile for the pickup. Taco Cabana on its way. 11:11, 15 minutes, 8.3 miles for that delivery.
They added the following instructions.
$2.75. I'll turn that to $2.65. So what we do is put in the rewards, which is your phone number, and we roll back to 10 cents. All right, we got one at Subway and one at Topper's Pizza. 11:54 arrival, 1 minute, 0.1 mile for Subway. All right, first one is Subway going to Arnold's Hall. 12:07, 5 minutes, 1 mile. Freaking sprinklers. All right, so Arnold's over there. Richard's the next one. The middle, you follow this to get to Arnold's. And Richard's is right next to it. All right, looks like we got a Subway. 12:17, 3 minutes, 0.8 for the pickup. All right, Subway on the way, 12:46, 16 minutes, 6.7. All right, that's the last one for tonight. Go back and we're gonna feed Kitty. All right, so we did a total of 103.5 tonight. All right, reset that. There's Kitty. All right, here we go with today's kitty. There's one kitty, 9 lives, and each life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. Swirl the cat food and pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having fancy feast, tuna feast, gravy, grilled. Here we go, kitty. One scoop, and another scoop there. Go. And what will I be having? I'll be having some spinach, carrots. We'll boil up some carrots. I'll chop up some red bell pepper, some onion, and some of this ramen noodle with some protein, which is the tuna. Ramen noodle's about 370 calories. With the tuna, it's another 100. It's about 470. With everything else, about 500. I'm gonna add some corn to it. Get started. All right, so we did get the vegetables cut up. We've got the bell pepper, onion, and carrots. Got some fresh spinach here that we're adding. I'll go ahead and drop that in there. Chicken, the sea, chunk light tuna. Kitty's happy about that. I got a little trick for you. We're at a cocktail party. You can try this. Oh, I see you're having a Bloody Mary. I'm having a chicken of the sea. That's right, Kitty. Probably get slapped. And we're gonna add the protein. And Kitty can have the rest. Come on, Kitty. There we go. There you go. Want to try that? Here. I don't want my sauce to get hurt. There we go. gets on the noodle when you put it on a noodle patty that way. Another minute left. And boiling that tuna is actually good too. Alright, so that's 3 minutes. We're going to put it on low, and then another minute. Alright, got a little bit of lemon. And add a little bit of ranch and pepper. I'm going to add a little gourmet chipotle too. And don't forget a few peanuts. Alright, it's got carrots, tuna, bell pepper, spinach, red onion. It's got the tuna. And I'm going to add some of this chipotle a little bit later when it's more just noodle. And the news is too depressing. I subscribe to Kirk Cameron's channel. There's Billy Bob. Oh, there Cleto is. Well, we'll find something.